Hello everyone, this is Chef Shailendra Garekar, Assistant Professor from AI Systems College of Hotel Management. Today I will be starting a new session of Molecular Gastronomy Science. This will be the part 1 and I will be having a series of 2 more sessions regarding same topic. So let's begin our session with the objective. So in this particular session, we are going to see the concept of molecular gastronomy, the chef and scientist approach, the science and the food, how it is related to each other. Then we are going to talk about taste, flavors, and ingredients which play a vital role in making molecular gastronomy cuisine. Then what are the aims of molecular gastronomy? And few statements done by the genius about molecular gastronomy. So, as you can see, the first beautiful picture of glass plating or presentation where nice stable foam is there. That is what all about molecular gastronomy. It tells you the how the presentation looks different using molecular gastronomy. So let's begin the first important part, what a chef and what a scientist think. So chefs think about the dish, food, measurement, and the equipment used for the structure of their plating or the food, recipes, taste, and the cooking methods. That is the approach by the chef. Whereas scientists think about food is molecules, foams, gel, and emulsification happen. For example, emulsification means we do mayonnaise, or that is the emulsification of two oils or two fats. Okay, that is a scientific approach by scientists, and that is a chef approach. So both are passionate about their trades, what they do, but if they cannot understand each other, they will never be able to work together. In molecular gastronomy, chefs have to think like a scientist so that he can work on molecular gastronomy food. How can they interact this model of words so that they can understand each other? Very important, they have to understand each other to go ahead. So for that reason, I have a diagram which explain you how the two things come together. Okay, just look at the middle divided of the picture where you can see there is a food, there is ingredients, and this is basic components used in that ingredient. So let us take an example of a bread. Is a food, yes, it's a dish. As per the domain on the top side is the cook domain or chef domain. At the bottom is domain of a scientist. Okay. So a food dish is named by chef. It consists of dish, then it will have flavor and it will have senses, uh, flavors observed by the chef. That is the chef thinking or domain. Whereas a scientist, he will think about food is a product property and he will think about the measurement and precise equipment use and the quantity what he thinks, and that is his domain. Then we move on to the ingredients. Ingredients will have basic components. So from chef point of view, it is fat, protein, sugar. You add water and there is air incorporation during the process of bread making or cake making. And that is the basic uh, thinking of a chef. Whereas in scientific domain, it is a molecule. Okay, it is molecule who play important role. Now moving on to the last part, but not least important part of this diagram. is the structure of food ingredients which is used making that particular dish. So what are the ingredients? So chef will say it is a butter, it is a cheese, and it is a bread. But the scien- scientists or scientists will think a butter is emulsification, that there is a water as well as a fat, and it is a structure composed of that. Then cheese, we will say it's a gel, it is a composed and nice stable shell. And bread, we will think it's a foam as it's a fermentation process used in bread making. We will think about it is a foam. I hope I clear this beautiful important picture of molecular gastronomy. So based on this picture, let's take a quick assignment in your mind. You think about your favorite dish. Think about why which you have recently eaten and describe the taste and why you like that particular dish. Okay. Just for example, I given a picture of a beautiful plating of a chocolate mousse with a nice garnish. I mean, a molecular gastronomy dish. So when you think about dish, you think about the flavor, taste, and ingredients. So that is very important in molecular gastronomy. So starting with the taste, so how the taste developed. The term taste refers to five basic tastes of sweet, sour, salt, bitterness, and something called umami, which is recently or very uh, very much important part of molecular gastronomy. Umami is a sort of savory taste was first described in 1908, that it appeared that the substance glutamate provided a taste senses that could not be described by sweet, sour, salt, or bitterness. It's a new flavor which is being developed and it is being using in Asian cuisine, and it was popular in Asian cuisine and spread all over the world. A lot of monosodium glutamate which is used and it is in Asian cuisine, which is umami taste. Okay, so let's see the taste and the chemical composition and product in which they can be found. As we know, sweet, which is glucose, fructose, found in sugar, icing. Sourness is lactic acid, acetic acid, is found in lemon and yogurt. Saltiness is derived from sodium chloride, ammonium chloride, and it is available or you can find in salt or pickle milk. Bitterness, quinine, caffeine, and it's found in coffee, wine, and beer. The umami which we talk very important is composition of monosodium glutamate, which is an amino acid and part of a protein, and it's found in old cheese, Chinese food or snacks like crisp, and it's a flavor enhancer. It's produce a nice taste in your mouth, create illusion in your mouth. So, what are the flavors now? Flavors is interfers both taste, smell, texture. It's a combo of all three important parts, and that created a dish. And you say it's a nice flavor because you think about the taste, smell, and texture. The appearance of the dish is also important in molecular gastronomy. Taste is defined its second order being that the secret of a good cook is believed in having a good flavor. The cook makes the dish using ingredients with the correct action and proportion. So, for example, cutting, mixing, heating, separating, or concentrating is what are the different actions done by the chef. A good cook knows precisely how much ingredients and what action needs to be taken. Too much things will spoil the taste. If you add, for example, salt to a potato or any dish, it will spoil the dish. Then Example, when you puree red pepper, the result is reddish, mushy, with the taste of peppery. You need to understand the taste, the color, the flavor. Okay, and if you roast that pepper and then puree, then it will have smokiness. Okay, so very important to understand this. Then ingredients for a cheese sandwich. Let's just take an example of cheese sandwich where there is a bread, butter, and cheese. Bread itself is composed of five ingredients, as we already discussed, various ingredients, and we know what are the different action and process making of bread. In particular, we have to follow that. But what about the butter which is used in making bread? Does this contain yet more ingredients? Yes. Butter will have which is churn, milk, fat, water, air, and salt. So you have to think about all these ingredients and sub-ingredients when you do a molecular gastronomy dishes. If you go right down on the molecular level, you'll arrive that the bread will have fat, protein, carbohydrate, water, and air, or most of the food will have all these five main elements. Okay, so you have to think about the ingredients as well. Now, again, coming back to chef and scientists. Scientists, uh, like the cook, the scientists also think about which combination of which ingredients under which action lead to certain result. And exactly the chef also thinks when you do a dish, do a trial, he also think like a scientist. Both think like a puzzle solver. Okay, they just use different vocabulary, different wording. Scientists call a bread a foam, a butter an emulsification, and a cheese a gel, as we saw in the previous videos. So molecular gastronomy will teach you knowledge about the ingredients and the science of the food making. These are the two basic elements to understand and to do molecular gastronomy. Cooking. Ingredients of knowledge and science of food making. As you can see, there is a celebrity chef, Heston Blumenthal photo, who is one of the successful chef in molecular gastronomy. A lot of research and development he did in molecular gastronomy. Let's move on to the aims of molecular gastronomy. You can see there is beautiful colorful pearls created in molecular gastronomy technique. So, what are the aims? Molecular gastronomy is to study recipe, cooking habits, and cooking wisdom, to explain the chemical and physical process that take place during cooking, to use the knowledge about physical and chemical process of cooking in order to develop new cooking instruments and ingredients, to design and invent new dishes with the help of acquired knowledge about food and cooking process. In this way, the cooking no longer be innovated by trial and error, but on the basis of very strong scientific knowledge and understanding. That is the aim of molecular gastronomy. Let's see the statement by a genius about molecular gastronomy. So, molecular gastronomy is a branch of science concerned with the study of physical and chemical transformation of edible material during cooking and a sensory phenomena associated with their consumption. It is these are the dishes they are innovated by applying knowledge about molecular gastronomy, thus provide us with a fresh outlook on eating and gastronomy. The discovery of new dish does more for the happiness of the mankind than the discovery of a new star. It is like creating something new and create happiness on the table. I think it is a sad reflection of our civilization that while we can and do measure the temperature in the atmosphere of Venus, we do not know what goes on inside our souffle. Very important uh, statement by the genius, the last statement, it says that we don't even know what we are eating, what are the ingredients goes in particular dish which we are eating. This is a very important fact. Even many times chefs also don't know. Um, Immature chef doesn't know what they are using and what is the purpose of it using. Very important statements. So these are my references which I use to make this video. Uh, so please, guys, do attend the quiz which is mentioned in my description. There is a link given. Especially as my student attempt the quiz. Thank you so much for watching. Last not the least, have a look at this beautiful picture and creation of multiple restaurant with the pearls and nice beetroot jelly is created on the right hand side. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a nice day.